Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. We're back in Tiny Zoo again. This is our lovely little zoo. Lots of foliage, lots of very small, sort of compact habitats. All the small creatures in the game, not doing anything too big in this game. This was our last episode, the snow leopards. And I think it all came together pretty nice with their outside area here. And then they have their den on this side of the pathway with a little tunnel underneath. And yeah, I was very happy with how all of that came out. And today we are moving over to this area and we are putting in some cute little things. I think they're a relatively new addition to the game. I can't quite remember when they were added in. The Alpine Ibex. Lovely little animals. Let's bring them up. Look at that. Look at that little face. Lovely little things. And I just fancied doing these. There's something a bit different. I had a bit of an idea of the sort of habitat I wanted to create. They're mountain climbers, essentially. They love climbing up on rocks, especially very steep rock faces. Obviously in the game they're not as agile as they would be in real life. But it gave me a bit of an idea of how to create a habitat for them. And it would involve fairly tall rocky platforms, and so this area here was perfect because I thought with this big building here I need something around this building which sort of uses all this blank wall space. And so what I thought, if I have a habitat that wraps around this building here, I can build up the rocks at the back of the habitat here right up and use this wall as the backdrop for them, while having the pathway coming around the front here as the viewing area. So that is what I did, and it looks really good. I'm really pleased with the results actually. And it comes all the way around and joins back in with this pathway over here. So I'm just linking up these two areas but with a habitat in the middle. And yeah, there we go. So that is my plan. So there's going to be a lot of rock work in this one. Very similar, unfortunately, to my last episode. I appreciate the last episode didn't have a lot of foliage and it had a lot of rocks. And this one is very similar, I'm afraid. I will try and pick an animal next time that I can do a lot more greenery in. But this habitat does look really good once it's finished. So let's move on, shall we, and see what I did to start it off. And look at this, we have our lovely ibex in their habitat. So we have one male here, he is Alesh, and then he has a lot of girlfriends. So all these other ones here are all females, and there's 5 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that it? Just the 5 girlfriends. I think that's enough for anyone, isn't it? So the habitat wraps, like I say, all the way around this building. And it does get a bit bigger actually. I'll explain why as I go along. Obviously this brick wall is just a temporary edge, so just so I could get the animals in and see exactly what I can do inside. The entrance is over here and it does stay over here as well. And I decided to do the pathway coming around here and have a raised area here, similar to what I did with the fake path for the badgers over there. I just thought because of how I'm going to be doing the rock work along the back wall here, I thought it made sense to have a raised area because the rock work is going to enable the animals to climb and climb and climb and come right up quite high up these walls here. And so I thought it would be good to be able to see them from the ground down here, but also to be able to get just a bit higher so that you're a bit more sort of eye level with where they're going to end up being. I thought that made sense. Oh, I can see something going crazy through there. What is that? I have no idea what that graphic was. That was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, who knows. Anyway, look at them. They're not moving, are they? The game isn't paused. They're just standing around. They've got nothing to do at the moment. There's nothing in there for them, is there? Actually, hang on. No, there's 6 females. He has got more. He's got 6 females. Is that all? Is it 6? Yeah, 7 altogether. Wow, 6 girlfriends. That is greedy. Some people can't even get one. And none of them are moving. This is quite disturbing, isn't it? Surely they do move. Let's speed it up. No. 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 Oh, it's like they're playing a game. Who can stand still for the longest? I think they might have crashed in some way because that's not normal. They definitely do move later on, I promise you. I have no idea why they're not at the moment. Doesn't matter, that's fine. So there we go. So that is our basic shape of the habitat. I just wanted to show you that and show you the adorable little creatures. So let's move on, and I think I probably crack on with the rock work first, just to try and get the structure of that in shape before I detail around it. Right, I've been very busy with the rock work here, as you can see. So along the back I've used the same technique of having these upright rocks, creating a sort of a rocky backdrop going all the way up there and around the corner as well. So I've made it, as you can see, the ibex are climbing around on it, and they're all standing still again. It's very strange. I swear, when I was actually playing this, they were definitely moving around a lot. I think it's because I'm just loading the game and something is crashing and not allowing them to move, because that's not right that they should just be standing still. If I speed this up, they're not going to move, are they? No, it's got to be something to do with the fact that I've just loaded a save game. For some reason, it's just kind of holding them in place. Let's just see if I can move one of them. There you go, move over there. I wonder if that helps. It's very strange just seeing them standing still. Let's see if he moves. No, he's not going to, is he? It's very odd. I don't know what's going on there. Mysterious. I seem to have found a bug in the game. Never mind. Anyway, let's talk about the rock work. So what I wanted it to come from this area over here. So I created a slope so they can come all the way up here. I then wanted it to diverge, so they've got a downward slope here leading them back down to the ground over here, and they could climb higher and higher and higher and come all the way up here. And then I wanted to create a sort of a flat bed area up here. This does change a little bit actually, because this, as you can see, this rock here is a bit uneven and I needed something a bit flatter there, so that does change eventually. And in fact I do some extra work around the front here as well. Put in some water for them. They do like to get into the water and have a bit of a swim. I swear, when they move, they do like to swim. So that is in there for them. Now the problem that this threw up, as you can probably tell, is that this area along here is a bit thin. Obviously this brick wall is going to disappear, and the edge is going to be more in line with the pathway here. But obviously what I wanted to do with the pathway was to create a rocky edge, and that ends up creating a very thin gap here that the animals can't move through, so that's no good. So what I had to do was move the pathway back. So I bring it further out here, bring it back out to here somewhere, so that they've got a bigger area in the front. Oh look, one of them's moving. Finally it's figured it out. Oh, that's because they put food down. So Mr. Keeper can come in as well. He can come all the way up as well. He can climb everywhere. Yeah, okay, well at least one of them's moving now. Oh, here we go. Look, we got movement. I think it's something to do with the programming, that it's sort of just triggering them to sort of recalculate where they can walk. One of them just vanished into the rocks there. That was quite strange. We have an ibex in the rocks. Hello, Mr. Ibex. You're not meant to be there. I think it just ran off. That was very strange. It seems to be very, very buggy for some reason. It certainly wasn't when I was playing it. It was working just fine. There we go. It'll be fine in the end. Don't panic. Our ibex do like their habitat once it's all finished, I promise. Oh look, the male's moved. Where's he gone? Oh, he's over here now, look. He's come around for his breakfast. Anyway. So yeah, so we're coming along. You can sort of start to see roughly what I was attempting. And like I say, it does expand. It works out really nice because they really don't have a lot of ground space at the moment because of the rock work. And obviously I wanted a nice swimming pool for them as well. So they don't have a lot of space just on the ground. And what it allowed me to do was to, because I brought it out here, gives them a nice big playing area, and it also allowed me to build them a bit of a shelter over here as well. So that's it was a good thing, a good mistake to have made in a way. Right, so let's move on and see what I do next. So you can see here that I've extended it, so I brought the path right out and it gives them quite a lot more space to explore along here. By doing that, I've allowed myself to create this sort of rocky support system for the pathway, which was pretty straightforward. Obviously I extend that just down the slopes once I get rid of this brick edging here. Put a bit of bedding up on here, so this is what I had to change, get some flatter rocks at the top here so I could get the bedding in the right place up here, and they like it up here. They do come up here and lie down up there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's basically it for this little update, but it was quite a big change, so I wanted to show you that. Look at them all standing still again, aren't they? It's very strange. Every time I load a new game, they just sit still and don't do anything. It's very, very mysterious. So it was at this point that I decided that I wanted to do more with this water here. And so I decided to build a waterfall. And that is, I think, probably what I do next. So I thought this rock face here was just a bit bland, you know, and the water wasn't doing anything for me really. So I thought it'd be nice to create a bit of a rock, a bit of a waterfall in this area here. So that is coming up. And obviously I needed to get rid of this brick because it's just temporary, but it just looks offensive to my eyes, quite frankly. So I wanted to get a nice custom fence put around the outside as well. So still plenty to do, lots of decorating, bit of foliage, nothing too dense again with the foliage, but it definitely needed something in here, quite a few trees as well, and enrichment items. So yeah, still plenty to do, plus decorating along the edge with the fence and the pathway too. So loads to do, so let's crack on and see what I got up to next. And here we have our little waterfall. So it's a pretty simple structure. It's one of the large water pieces that I put in here. Built a bit of rock work around the bottom and the sides, and then just planted a few of these rocks in the wall and on the top here as well. Just sunk some in. So some of these are actually I can't show you, but they're pretty big rocks, and you know, just got little pieces of them poking up. And then because I'm going for a little bit to realism here and now, I've created this structure at the top here to look like a like a water pump system. Because obviously this isn't meant to look like a real waterfall as such. So the water is being pumped out of this grating here at the back, from some sort of mechanism within the rock work here. Yeah, there we go. So it's obviously going to look a lot better once I've got some better foliage around it. But as a waterfall goes, I think it looks pretty cool, and it just gave this area something a bit jazzy, you know. It was just looking a little bit bland before, so yeah, just makes everything a little bit better. And as you can see, the ibex do come right up here and have a snooze up on the rocks here, and then they go running off down there because dinner's just been served, and they're all hungry. How far can they jump? See, in real life they'd probably just jump to there and then jump down, but in the game I suspect, yeah, they're going to have to go the long way, all the way down the slope and around. Go on, off you go. Oh no, he's gone the wrong way. No, she's gone the wrong way actually, I should say. There we go, go get some food. Well done. Big boss daddy man, he's watching over them, making sure they only eat what they're allowed to. Great, there we go. So that's our waterfall done. Oh yes, and our fence, of course, sorry. Custom fencing. Really simple, just a large piece of mesh. And what is it that I've used on the edge here? A European marquee beam. I wanted it to look like metal, and this is quite a new piece, I think, in the game. It might come in with the European thing, I think. Yeah, it's European, so it must have done. And it's the first sort of thin metal beam that we've got in the game, as far as I know. So that's what I've used to create that, and then it's just been duplicated all the way around here. And then stopping here, and then again, oh look, they're all following each other in a line. Isn't that cool? And then again on this side, just coming along here up to the end here, and then just along this hedge as well. Now one issue that I had, obviously this panel here is over the door, so I do have to come back to this one in a minute and change the mesh pieces so that it fits around the door. So I will show you that once I've done. And along the bottom I just went with this flat rock work, just lining the floor, just covering up the join between the pathway and the ground, and that's all the way around this edge here as well. just blends everything together a bit nicer, doesn't it? And yeah, there we go. So, oh look, they're all coming up here for lie down. Look, Daddy's got his corner. He likes it over there, and then his ladies are going to come and sit down on the outside here by the looks of it. Oh, look at that. Lots of happy ibex. Having a little sit down in the sunshine. Isn't that nice? Great. Yeah, they're happy. They like it up there. That's where they belong. Don't have to worry about health and safety with these guys. They're not going to accidentally fall off the cliff. This is what they're used to doing. They sit up on cliff tops like this all the time. Oh, look at that. They look like completely zonked out in the sun there, haven't they? Brilliant. Okay, let's move on. A bit more to do. So still foliage to do. And like I say, I do build a shelter in here as well. So let's move on to our next save point. And here we are with the finished habitat. So quite a lot to walk you through in this edit. So let's start with the foliage. So trees, I wanted a bit of colour in here, but obviously I wanted to stick to the theme. So I found these ones, these Dahurian larch trees that were appropriate to the biome. So there's a couple of those in there just to add some height and some colour. And then the other trees in here are, what are these ones? Manzanita bush. Yeah, there we go. So there's a few of those in there as well. And then the rest of the bushes and things, they're just lots of green, not a lot of colour. There's a few flowers actually. These are appropriate little alpine-y plants here, the dwarf cornel, and then there's some of these ones here, the Labrador tea as well. And then yeah, so all these other bushes are just sort of general greenery. But again, all appropriate to the right biome at least. And there's a nice dead tree there, and I think there's another dead tree here. There's a nice big log here lying. Oh, look at that! There's actually an ibex lying on the log. Well, you don't see that every day. It doesn't look very comfortable, that, but he does it. I'm sure you shouldn't be lying there, but okay. Yeah, that doesn't look great, does it? It's got a little bit corrupted, but hey ho, you know, each to his own. This guy here is, or this girl here, I should say, is using the rubbing pad to the extreme by disappearing half inside it. You've got to have a laugh at these graphics sometimes, haven't you? We can't complain. I mean, the graphics are quite remarkable, really, aren't they? Let's be honest. We definitely have no reason to complain about the details. So yeah, so the foliage, I've kept it thin, but I've tried to get it to the right balance of foliage and rock work kind of thing, and just make it look natural. Like there's some ferns here just sort of growing in the cracks in the rocks and that sort of thing, coming right up into this entrance area here. And luckily these pine trees are already in here from the wolf habitat, and they're all sort of appropriate for the area, so I could leave them in. There's another dead one here as well. So that's the foliage. I've also put in, like I said, I put in a bit of a shelter here. So again, this is a very simple shelter, very similar to some that I did before, where you just create this round top with planks, where you just rotate it around until you've filled it all in. And then I've used this same big tree root log shape thing. That's a terrible description. What is this? Planet Zoo. Oh, there you go. It is literally just Planet Zoo log. So that's in there, and it's kind of upside down, and you can see it sinks right down into the ground there, to create these very basic shelters. But I think they look pretty cool. They're a good height for the animals to get under, and I've put this other bedding down under here, this leafy bedding, for them to come and lie down under their shelter. There are also some enrichment items. You can see this ball that's in the water here, the grab ball, is actually up on the rocks here, and it's been carried all the way down into the water there, which is pretty cool. You've got, what have you got? You've got one of these scarecrow feeders. This is a new one on me. I've not seen this one before. I think this must have come in with the European pack, and it's appropriate for this animal, so it's gone in there. I thought that looked pretty cool. You've got a feeder here, you've got another ball feeder here, you've got this aerial feeder here, you've got the scratching post, you've got a little scent marker thing here, and what have we got over here? I think there's something over here, or is there not? I can't remember. No, there's not. There's nothing else over this end. I'll put a information board here, and there's one on the other side that I will show you as well. This is the awkward panel here. So you can see this is now 14 items, because what I've had to do is use these smaller mesh pieces and overlap them, and if you can get them in just the right position, you can match them up so that they don't look like they're overlapping, but it means that the door doesn't have mesh over it now. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how that looked in the end. And let's just show you what I did up here. This is very basic up here. Use these lovely what are these called? Picnic canopies. That's the word I was looking for. I just couldn't think of the word there. So a line of these lovely modern picnic canopies along the back, and then just a line of benches with a couple of bins. Really simple, but it'd be a lovely little place to sit down, wouldn't it? Eat your lunch and watch the ibex climbing around on the rocks over here. A couple of boards here. I didn't want to just do the same habitat education boards here, so I've used a couple of these different ones here, which are the like conservation, information, climate change, and that sort of thing. So there's one there at each end of that, purposely not obscuring the view. So when you're sitting on the benches, you haven't got a big information board in front of you. They're purposely put to either side there. And yeah, so I also just put an information board at this end as well, so as you are coming in from this angle, immediately here you can see exactly what it is that you're about to look at. Oh, and there it is running through the water. I didn't decorate the water. I was tempted to put some reeds and things in, but they're not really appropriate for the habitat, so I didn't bother. I thought it looked fine just like it is. I didn't want this area to look too crowded either. I wanted this to be a fairly open water area anyway, because you got a lot of detail here. Oh yeah, put a couple of these little things as well. I like this bush, a dog rose bush. I just wanted a little bit of colour around the waterfall there as well. Oh yes, and they've got a melon up the top here as well. This melon enrichment up here. So there we go. That is our alpine ibex habitat all done. And again, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Obviously I don't know what I'm doing back here, so I've not detailed this side of the pathway, but as a habitat I think it's nice. It is quite big, but it kind of needed to be for what I wanted to do with it, but at the same time I feel like it's not overly sized, and because it's kind of butted up against this habitat, I think it kind of works to fill in the gap and make use of this building in the middle here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that actually. I think it looks really nice. So there we go. Please do let me know what you think, and if you've enjoyed the episode, please do hit the like button. That would really help me out. Thank you. And hopefully I will see you again soon. I can't tell you what I'm doing next in this zoo, because as of recording this I haven't done any more, so I can't give you any spoilers, but I've got a few ideas. And obviously the zoo itself has got plenty of room to expand, but it's getting there, isn't it? Look at that. It looks like a decent sized zoo now, but there's still a lot of options all around the outside here for expansion, and I just need to keep on coming up with nice creative ideas of different types of habitat to do for different animals. And obviously they keep on adding new animals into the game, which is very helpful. So there we go. Now what I do need to do off camera is come over here and pick up all these stupid staff members that are just standing around chilling out by the door here. So I will do that in just a minute, but for now let's just leave with an aerial shot of the zoo so far. There we go. There is Tiny Zoo. It's coming along nicely. So thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you spending a bit of your spare time with me, and hopefully I will see you soon. Until then, take care. Bye for now.